Before I start the list, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kodash, Baal to the Apostle, it was a great millstone who rule and teach all. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushing believe in this word and all true sincerity, your sacrifice that allows us to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to his Israelite foreigners scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father, name is Yahweh. Our only begotten Son, name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, when this video edifying, quick and straight to the point. This video will be entitled, Know Who You're Dealing With. Know who and what you're dealing with. And I titled this like this because, now things are starting to heat up over here in America, aka Babylon the Great. We're starting to see Esau Edom showing his horns even more so now. A lot of these laws have been passing. Insurrection Act of 1807, all of the King Alfred Plan, all of these things being talked about, and not just talked about, they're going to be enacted pretty soon. And, Jake like to get rocked to sleep continually on a daily basis and trusting their oppressors. But they are going to have a rude awakening pretty soon. All the inhabitants on earth are going to see who Esau Edom really is. Now, beginning with Jake, this is primarily for Jake, but we have to remember who we're dealing with. We have to remember who Esau Edom truly is. He's a devil. He's a straight demon, bro. He's a straight demon. And we got to remember who he is, what he does, how he like to come towards people, how he acts when he don't get his way. All of these things. Esau Edom's a master manipulator. A master of lying and manipulator. He's the chief of carnalness on this earth. So, I'm just going ahead and jump into this, and then, Lord, when this video will be edifying. This is something I was just meditating on in my spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and start in Sirach chapter 12 real quick. Now, Sirach goes over, this was taking place in the Great captivity. So who you think this is talking about here? Who you think this is talking and warning? Who you think, I'm mixing up my words, Salakia, but who you think this time period was written for? It was for Israelites dealing with the Greek captivity. And you got the Maccabees. You got how to conduct yourself, never to trust your enemy. So it's reasons to why all these things were written. There's a specific reason for why these things were written. So this is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Salakia. So as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. So beware of Esau Edom, because why? You can't trust him. You don't need to keep him around. You don't even need to have him around, realistically. Now, in certain situations, you try not to deal with Edomites. But even if you are in a situation where you deal with Edomites, you need to know how to conduct yourself. So, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So like a cast iron, you put it in some water, you wash it, you try to get that rust off, but it don't go away and don't come off. Because why? Esau Edom is just like that. Esau Edom is that rusted casting iron that rust can't come off. You can't trust him. And the Maccabees, they had to learn the hard way not to trust your enemies. Then you have now in certain situations you had to be peaceful among them, but altogether you couldn't trust Esau Edom because why? They always was doing some backstabbing, some treachery, some deceit, some lies behind everything they did. Us knowing that in these times, how we should act, how we should conduct ourselves. So from there, Actually, what was the other preach I was thinking of? Oh, Revelation 20. Let me grab that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 20, and I started at verse. I started verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, which is Esau Edom. He was bound 1,000 years. He was bound 1,000 years in that lion spirit. You know, all the things that Esau embodies, what? He was ultimately cast down for a period of time. And cast him into the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations no more. So in the time after the Roman Empire completely fell apart, you had Jake ruling, which is the so-called Dark Ages. Dark Ages because you had dark-skinned people, brown-skinned people ruling, primarily Jakes. You had Jakes ruling the Russian Empire, all of those things. You had Jake ruling over there. But what? At the time, Esau Edom was put down in the lower state. Nebuchadnezzar is like a state. Oh, so was that Nebuchadnezzar? Yeah, Nebuchadnezzar estate. Yep, because he was showing that dream. So let me see, that he should deceive the nations no more. Yeah, like I said, he was in a lower state till the 1,000 years be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And yeah, we're still in that little season after mainly late 1300s. 1390, 1380 period, and early 1400s. What? That was the rebirth of the Renaissance, which is the rebirth of Christianity, the rebirth of the Roman Empire. So we learning what? That Esau Edom came back, and what? He's ruling in this little season. You know, you had the three horns, you had all of these things. All of these Edomite empires that was ruling over Jake and oppressing Jake. So, you know, that Esau Edom is that same individual in Revelation 20 that was cast down into the bottom pit, which was Europe, and what? He's ruling today. He's ruling now. You see that what? Esau Edom is the same individual. He liked to lie, deceit, slander, and kill. Salakia for that. He liked to lie, deceit, slander to get whatever he wants and whatever he chooses to take. So from there, I'm going to jump into these Psalms real quick and then get Ezekiel, then I'm going to close out. I'm not going to make this video long. But, you know, this is who we're dealing with. We're dealing with somebody that lies to get his way. You know, you even see it in the Salaki. You used to even see it in political wars. They take out their competition. They take out their competition. They set people up to get killed. All of that. That's who we're dealing with. And these Edomites are the same individuals doing that today and have done that to get their power. So who you talking to? Who you dealing with? We're dealing with the devil himself, Esau Edom. So from here, I'm going to jump to Psalms chapter 55. Was that? 55 and verse 20. Starting at verse 20. This is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He put forth his hands as such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And yet Esau Edom had broken a brotherly covenant. He every covenant he make, he breaks. You know, then even going back to when Esau Edom came over here at first, he broke all the treaties with Gad and Reuben and the indigenous tribes that was over here. Now you see that he take the land as if he was here. This is my land, this is our land or whatever. And you see that he acts as if he's kicking out the own inhabitants of this land, which is Gad and Reuben, deporting them. The Issacharites. Now Issachar was up and down all Mexico, but he's acting as if he's acting as if he was the one who established this and was ruling over here. But truth be told, you came over here, enslaved and harmed these people, and really pretty much colonized these people. What you did, you colonized them. You took their land, you took their name, And that's written too. Whoever shall remove thy landmark, and Esau Edom removes landmarks and named them, named the places that he ruled over themselves. So Esau Edom, you have came over to America, you bloody fugitive. He came over to America, enslaved not just enslaved. You killed our buffalo. You was warring with the tribes over here, just to take their land. And you break covenants. You're known as a liar. You took over their lands and claimed them as your own, saying, "Oh, these people was bloodthirsty savages." Whole time, that's you. That's you who's some bloodthirsty savages. That's you who came over here and murdered, not killed, murdered. Then you castrated them, acted as if they're the bad guys when you came over and quite literally took the land that they owned and possessed way before you even came over here and thought of America. It took them as your own. So we're dealing with a liar, a thief. We're dealing with a very vile and cruel man. But he just like the trust in oppression. But guess what? He's going to show you them horns pretty soon. He's going to show you, I ain't coming here to play with you. We ain't friends. You a means to an end. And that's what Esau Edom's going to show you. And you just going to have to find out the hard way. So from here, verse 21, the words of his mouth are smoother than butter. So yeah, he was, oh yeah, we could do this for you, this, that, and the third, if only you help us. Whole time he using you to get what he want. And when it's time for him to uphold his end of the bargain, he never does. He never does. So what? His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So at the end of the day, even though Esau, you don't like to talk a good game to you, oh, you help us with this, we'll help you with this. Knowing what your issues are, knowing who you are, knowing what you lack. Oh yeah, well, we could do this for you since you need our help. You help us, we help you. Whole time he knows your weaknesses. He studied you out, and now he's using you to starve you out and use you for whatever he wants, whatever he needs. He take what he wants. So that's who we dealing with. We're dealing with a deceiver, y'all. We ain't dealing with somebody who's just and you can trust him. He was shown not to be trusted. So, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. Yeah, Esau didn't like to say, hey, calm down, we'll help you. The whole time he got guns pointed at your head. So this is who we're dealing with. This is the man who's ruling right now. So why would you trust an individual that literally has a very bloody history of dealings with him? We don't even gotta just go back to the so-called Indians. You did the same thing to the Negroes. You did the same thing to the Mexicans. You did the same thing, not even just towards the Israelites. You did this all over the earth. So of course you got the whole earth revolting against you. You got the whole earth not even just liking your character, but quite literally don't even trust in you anymore. So they making their own currencies, they're establishing their own treaties, which is why the earth clearly is sick of your actions. So Esau Edom, you're wanting. Your actions are weighed in the balance, and you're found wanting, as in just like it was in the Persians and Medes. And guess what? You're gonna fall, just like any other kingdom that has reigned over his people. You will fall, and you're just gonna learn. You're just gonna have to learn the hard way, regardless if you like it or not. This is who you are. You love blood, man. You love to torment and make individuals suffer for your own gain. So from here, I'm gonna jump in this Ezekiel, then I'm gonna close out. This is back in Ezekiel chapter 35. Not back in, but this is Ezekiel chapter 35. And I start at verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And yeah, you have not hated blood. You like to oppress the children of Israel at every door, every time you can get the chance to. You like to oppress the children of Israel every time you get the chance. Every time, no matter if what's that saying? Kick it, don't know. Damn, what's the saying? Basically kicking somebody while they're down. Esau, Edom, you do that and then some. You forward the affliction of the saints and the children of Israel. So who is we to trust you when you are quite literally the one that sets up ways to destroy us on every facet and way of life? You flood out our cities. You make it financially hard for us. You create laws just so we can't even come into power. You create laws that we can't even provide and do well for ourselves. So who are we talking about here? Civil rights movement, segregation, white-owned cities, white restaurants, white-colored fountains, white stores. We could get petty with it. And let's be honest. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American is a terror unto the block. But you Edomites are a terror unto the world. You quite literally have organizations that quite literally are used to take down governments that aren't against your own rule. And that could have a righteous aspect to it. But guess what? Whatever y'all don't like, y'all like to come against. Because y'all just wicked. And that's just who y'all are. So for you Israelites that to be trusting in these Edomites, you're a fool. You're a fool. I said fool. You're a full-blown out fool, man. And it's shown throughout history to not trust these devils. But what? Y'all like to trust in them anyway. So therefore, y'all got to learn. But Lord, when this video edifying, before I close, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Lord, when this video edifying, and on to the next one. Shalom.